you. Oh. How have you been, my dears? I missed you. Oh, sacre bleu! Oh, I guess it's been a little bit since anyone has dusted in here. That's all right. Oh. Well, okay, so let's see. What's the next lecture? Next lecture is... I have so many notebooks. Gosh. Goodness. Hi. 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 Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just got back. Right. Right. Oh, I have to tell you all about it later, but I was just wondering, Henry, if you could be darling and see if anyone came by my office and dusted it out. It is so... Yours is too. Oh my. It's just funny. It's just funny to go and spend all that money on that new, what's it called, kinesiology building, and they leave us out here, and this is whatever. It's fine. Who cares? We're only geologists, right? Well, that would all be well and good. We're the geologists. We can handle the asbestos, right? I know. Asbestos. No, they look at us like, oh. Asbestos is bad. I'm like, right? Just between, there's no asbestos in the buildings, but you know, it gets them. Geology puns, I know. Half the reason why I became a geologist. Right, anyway. Well, you know, no, definitely drop by the office, later. What do you have? So, I'm getting ready to, finalize my lecture. I just got back from the best, hike, and though. It was great. I didn't find any specimens, but I wasn't really looking for them. You know how the specimens just tend to find you. Right? Oh. That is such the fun of being a mineralogist. Oh, yes. Yes. Anyway, well, thanks. I would call them myself, but for some reason they never answer when I call. Okay, well, I'll talk to you later. See you later. Let's grab coffee sometime, okay? Okay, bye. Oh, charming. So glad we went to school together. All right. I could learn to be a bit more organized. Is this the right notebook even? Come on. Come on. Oh, maybe I should just look at my PowerPoint. So, what still needs Intro to Volcanoes with Dr. Amethyst Rose, mineralogist. It's too bad that mineralogy is over. I love teaching that class. But volcanoes are my second geological passion, so it's okay. So this is pretty self-explanatory. A volcano is any geographical location where magma from deep inside the earth erupts as hot molten lava. Who doesn't know that? Kids can never remember the difference between magma and lava. Magma inside Earth, lava on top Earth, and burns you. Or hopefully doesn't burn you, depending on which type of lava it is. Is it aha or pahoy hoy? The answer might surprise you. We'll get to that in a later lesson. Oh, this one also. Volcanoes are found on every continent in the world except 19 times out of 20. 19 people raise their hand and say Antarctica. And then the one kid in the back with the glasses, the one who everyone ignores, the quiet one, raises his or her precious hand and says, and I go, yes, Harry, yes, Sally, because it's quite often one of those typical names. What do you think? And they say, Dr. Amy, volcanoes are found on all continents. Right? And I'll be like, all of you people, look back. You look back. This man or woman, depending on, is going to be every single one of your boss someday. Well, that gets them to pay attention. I really should make my own teaching course. Right. So I do have most of this written down. Oh, that's right. There are 6 main types of volcanoes, of course. I just needed to look up a good example for each one. So we've got cinder cone, composite, shield, large igneous provinces, ocean floor, kimberlite vents. Wait, was that 5 or 6? What did I miss? Ocean floor, kimberlite vents, large igneous provinces, composite, shield. Oh, that is all right. Well, I do love me a nice composite volcano. Now, of course, they're not the safest ones to be around, but those little cinder cones, it's like practically not even a volcano. Anyway. Oh yes, this is always a fun question. Who has ever been to a volcano? Most people will not raise their hands, and then they'll be like, did you know? Oh! What's going on there? I just love having the cats in the lab. Couldn't possibly be dangerous at all. And we'll say, oh, did you know that we all live 3 hours south of one? What? Like, oh yes. 3 hours south of Mount Shasta. I've never heard of Mount Shasta. Sad. One day when Mount Shasta blows up, they'll be sorry. I don't understand why people live in California. I don't understand why I live in California, except that's where all the cool geology stuff is. Right, anyway. Oh. It will be nice to wear these again. Field clothes are so tacky, but can't exactly wear these hiking about. People always ask me, are you a Barbie or a geologist? And I say both. Not in that order. But anyway, alright. Getting distracted. Oh. Привет! Oh. Да, доктор Екатерина. Да. Yabagu, yeah, oh, what's the word? Yeah, я знаю, я знаю. А? No, нет, нет. Нет, 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 нет. Как дела? Нет, как дела? Я, no. Я знаю. Я. Знаю. Знаю. А, я? Я, ох. Я. Работать. Работать. Я. Работать. Работать. Работает. Да. Катарина. Я. Я люблю очень, 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 очень. Ты знаю. Знаешь. Но я не могу. Я не могу. Извините. Извините. Ох, да. Бог. Иисус Христос go with you. Bye. Katarina, you tell one foreign professor that you speak their language and you are constantly getting called and asked to substitute in said professor's class. I love you, Ekaterina, but you need to find someone else who can speak your language with the accuracy that I demonstrate. Because I can't even speak Russian that well. I can't even. And then I'm in front of a class of Russian-speaking children, or not children, Russian-speaking overgrown children who just look at me. And yes, they may see the glittery geologist Barbie, but sometimes I cannot remember what the word for glitter is in Russian. Blick? It's blick, but I can't remember. And someone calls me a blick, says blick, and I get confused and I think they're talking about the color black, and I'm like, I'm not wearing black. It's just a nightmare. Anyway. Right, that's why I'm glad I'm a geology teacher, not a Russian teacher, even though Russian is fascinating. And Russia, of course, has that, very, very geologically active region, Kamchatka. We're still watching you, Kamchatka. Just waiting for that to blow up again. Anyway, right, so... Now I have a Russian song in my head. And Katerina always puts Russian songs in my head. I think I did grab the wrong notebook. I have so many notebooks. Well, that's okay. That's okay. So Cindercone, let's see. I just need to find a good example. E fala yoko. Stratovolcano. E fala yoko. My favorite yokel. From the movie Walter Mitty, Secret Life of Eyjafjallajökull. When I found out it was a real volcano, I was quite excited. This was, of course, before I was a mineralogist slash volcanologist, and I would have known that, but I found that out whilst I was still yet a young child after seeing my favorite movie ever, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, where they talked about Eyjafjallajökull. And it's taken me all these years to be able to pronounce it correctly. So, let's see. Stratovolcano. Perfect. What do I have here? Oh, that's composite, obviously. I do wish that they would have, like, all the lists always change the names. What do we have here? Plinian. Oh, Plinian. That's not fun. That's not fun. I never. Ooh. That one will definitely be composite. Eruption type. Novarupta. Interesting name. VEI6. It was pretty bad. Glad I was not born in 1912. Seriously, I have to find an example for a cinder cone. Cinder cone. Cinder cones don't even erupt. It's probably not going to be in this book, but I'll just tell people, if you ever driven out to Manchester, if you have, and you've seen some small piles of dirt that look like a triangular shape and they're all close together, congratulations, you've seen a cinder cone volcano. Move on with your life. Oh, Vesuvius. I can't look at that. For some reason, that is the one that always stresses me out. Even though, for some reason, that's the one they make the most YouTube documentaries on. Why not make a documentary on a different volcano? Like Eyjafjallajökull, or the Kamchatka Peninsula. Actually, I made one on the Kamchatka Peninsula, but that's okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, perfect. Shield volcano. Everyone will know this one. And by everyone, I mean the one kid in the back named Harry or Sally, depending on with the glasses, who answered the question about Antarctica. Will know when I say, does anyone know what a shield volcano is? They'll say, they'll stare at me, and then I'll say, anyone? And then he or she will raise their hand nervously, and I'll go, you, Harry or Sally or Bertha or Bergamont, whatever your name is, and they will say the Hawaiian island chain, and I'll be like, yes! Who here has been to Hawaii? And about half the little kids will raise their hands, and I'll be like, and they didn't raise their hand when I asked them before if they'd ever been to a volcano. Just shows the failures of our public education system today. For everyone except Harry or Sally or Bergamont. Composite volcanoes, there are so many. Cinder cones don't really need to even describe. It's what it sounds like. Shield. Mauna Loa. Fernandina. Kilauea. Why cannot? Mauna Loa. Kilauea. I don't know why I cannot pronounce that correctly. Nyamaragira, Democratic Republic of the Congo. Urta Ali, Ethiopia. Never forget Urta Ali. Never. Or Sierra Negra, the Galapagos. Sierra. Spelled differently than my friend Sierra. She spells it a whole nother way. Cinder cones. Oh, well, look at that. They have a page on cinder cones. Boring as I suspected. It's cinder cone. This one in British Columbia formed about 1,300 years ago. What is the name? It doesn't even... Eve cone. Eve cone? That's the name? Eve cone? That's not... It's not even called Eve volcano. It's called Eve cone. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce this, but it's the letter P, the letter U, parenthesis U, O, cinder cone, something or other. Hawaii has so many volcanoes. I'm, on the one hand, happy that they are a state, and on the other hand, sad that I don't live there. And on the other hand, it doesn't make sense that it's part of the continuous United States, because it seems like its own country. Same with Alaska. They both have all the cool geology stuff. While here on the continuous United States, we just have the Rocky Mountains, the Appalachian Mountains. But that's all. It's okay. We have other things too. But still, it seems like if it had been me, I would have just made the country of Alaska its own country, and the country of Hawaii its own country. And I think that would be maybe make things a lot clearer when people, because sometimes I'll say, where are you from? They'll say, I'm from the United States. And I'll be like, oh, what state? They'll say, Hawaii. I'm like, that's not the United States. But then I get in trouble for saying that's not the United States. Even though it is so many miles away from the United States, and I get the same response when someone says Alaska, and I say that's practically Russia. And also, people hate on Russians for no reason. Just because you don't like their president doesn't mean all the people there are bad. I have personally been there many times, visiting the Kamchatka Peninsula and other areas. There's not a single person on the Kamchatka Peninsula. How could a peninsula be bad in and of itself, except for the fact that it is one of the most volcanically active regions on this earth? And I'm just like, oh! They lump all of Russia in with Kamchatka. I really should start doing a web series or something. Alright, anyway, where was I? Right. I should know all these. Kimberlite vents. Oh, diamonds! Ooh, fun fact. Diamonds are often found in kimberlite vents. You mentioned that. About 75% of the bottle blondes turn their heads to their male companion and go, young love. And they make a face, and I'm like, Diamond, I said it. The funny thing is, most people don't even realize that diamonds are not half, even in the slightest, the most fascinating mineral of all time. They just assume because the Diamond Association has taken over. Big Diamond, I like to call them. Big Diamond. And they just like to say that diamonds are the best and most brightest and shiniest mineral. Are they the hardest mineral? Yes, but there are also minerals out there that are also as hard as diamonds. They just don't get mentioned because diamonds are the ones that always get mentioned. And that is why I study this. And why I study this. And why I study this mineralogy. But right now, I'm teaching you all about volcanoes because it's not time to do a 2000 level geology class yet. And I'm teaching all of you business majors and fashion design majors about something that you don't even care about when you should, because it's literally the earth that you live on. Of course, I'd never say anything like that. Just make the crack about the diamonds and, you know. Save the real discussion for what is the best engagement ring? Gemstone. Or either a pop quiz in this class. That actually is a fun idea. Wouldn't it be funny if I give that pop quiz before and I come up with something really special and tell them all that they failed if they pick diamond. That'd be really fun, but also a little bit mean because most people think of diamonds when they think of engagement rings, except for mineralogists. But in my next mineralogy class I will definitely have that discussion. I think that would be a lively discussion. But anyway, we need to find a kimberlite vent and an ocean floor. Well, ocean floor volcanoes. Those are the ones. Of course, I can always give well, Hawaii, people will always be like, well, Hawaii is an ocean volcano, right? But now it sticks up out of the water, so. There are also volcanoes on the sea floor. However, I'm not an expert on that, so I will just have to mention the fact specific hotspot, and that just because you cannot see volcano doesn't mean volcano doesn't exist deep below the earth. Just like you can't see the aggressive behind the passiva. The aggressive doesn't exist, depending on how good you are at reading people. Just because you cannot see the screaming teacher behind the cool, composed face doesn't mean. Anyway, all these years of teaching just bring me so much joy. Really, the only thing that keeps me going is the volcanoes and the minerals and fluorite. Another piece of fluorite. I miss mineralogy. Even quartz. Quartz. So common, so useful, and yet so misunderstood. Can't segue. Kyanite. Oh, I could write a soliloquy about your bladed blades of blue and white. Kyanite, white, blades of blue and white. That rhymes. Rutile. Rutile? I forgot. Rutile. Galena. And rutile. I can't figure it out. It's Galena. Or is it rutile? Oh no! I need to get back in my breath. Oh. Just get through this one more class, Amethyst, and then you will be back in mineralogy where you belong. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Ugh. Perhaps it's because I'm sitting on the floor. Anyway. Right. Righto. So, let's see. Ocean floor, vents. And, what was the other one? Kimberlite vents. I do know kimberlite vents happen about in places like, there are lots in Africa, I believe. African Rift volcanoes, perfect. African Rift volcanoes. Kimberlites. So many stratovolcanoes, unfortunately. Oh, there's AFL Yoko again. Honestly, I could do an entire lecture on AFL Yoko itself. It is so interesting. But I have to do a survey. Oh, Tambora. Ooh, don't even want to look at that. Always get that one question from the sweaty football player in the front, or little frat boy who goes, "What was the deadliest volcanic eruption of all time?" And I'm like, "The deadliest? You really want to know? You really want to know what it was? You little sadist, you." And well, I tell them, "You are glad that you were not here in 1815 on the island of Tambora, Indonesia. Or pretty much any of the other major eruptions in the past. You are very lucky and very fortunate that you don't live on a volcano, and that you are born in a time when people, scientists, like myself, actually prevent you from getting hurt by volcanoes, because, see, these people back in these days, the reasons we still have volcanic eruptions today that are as catastrophic as the ones we had back then. However, because of advanced scientific systems and national agencies and whatnot, people can get to safety so much faster. For example, in the Kamchatka earthquake catastrophe of this year, you all heard about it on your little TikToks. You heard about it on your TikToks, even if you weren't in the affected area, right? The entire world heard about this massive tsunami that was generated. And we know tsunamis are generated by volcanic and or earthquakes, basically major disturbances in the Earth's crust, right? But you guys, if this had happened 100 years ago, nobody would have had their little phones and their TikToks. And so, if you lived in that direct area, you would have not even known until possibly right even before. So just think, what a wonderful time to be alive when we have all this technological advancement, and thank the Lord God that you are alive. Now, sometimes I think I should be a preacher. Anyway. Dear God, thank you for geology and the beauty of it, and the fact that I was born in such a time when I could be a geologist, me, little Amethyst Rose, and know all these things and have all these books about geology, and also the privilege of having a system in place so that I can know where volcanic eruptions happen, so I can go look at them, but out of danger. It's wonderful. I don't get why anyone does anything other than be a geologist. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. Anyway, oh, that's right, because they have to teach classes full of business majors, and what even are the other things? Teaching majors? Educational? I don't even know. What is up with this Common Core that makes you take courses? And then I have my geology students who are like, come to me. They're like, Dr. Amethyst, I'm really struggling in a class. And I'm like, which class is it, dear? And they're like, English. And I'm like, English? you're struggling in English? And they're like, yes, I'm really struggling in English, and I need this class to graduate. I need this class to graduate. But I'm a geologist. I'm a geology major. And I'll be like, I'm so sorry, I did not come up with the curriculum. And obviously you can go to tutoring for that, but I'm not a linguist either myself. Or a history class. You would think that students who are good in historical geology are also good in historical historics, but historical geology is about the earth, and historical historics is about people. People and the earth are very different, and everyone learns in their own way is what I'm saying. And why should you be forced to take a class that you really don't care about? Because I know this precious student who is failing their English class is still paying attention to the teacher because they are a geologist, and geologists are the best type of students. But any other student, more than likely, who is taking a class that they're failing, that they don't understand, that they don't even care about, and won't even use for their degree in their line of work in the future, are sitting there and just thinking about their next frat party, or their next socialite meeting, or whatever it is that these people do, or their next, I don't even know, what do people do these days? The next video they're gonna watch, something like that. I have so many ideas. I really should be like the dean of schools or something like that. But of course, even then, well, sometimes I wonder, Lord, why you don't just come back already? We've already reached the point of no return, obviously. Obviously. But, well, I trust you. Anyway, I'm just glad to be a Christian geologist, because so many geologists are not even Christian, and I just don't get it. I don't even get how you can be a geologist and not be a Christian at the same time. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Well, it's just so amazing. And you cannot see things like this and just not believe it all just happens. It doesn't. Alright, anyway, back to my lecture. Oh, right! The main types of magma. All volcanoes spew lava, but there are two main types of magma, which becomes lava after the volcano explodes, which they should have written down, but probably won't have, so I'll say it again. Number 1, mafic lava. Mafic magma turns into lava. I'll have to. Good thing I wasn't. Mafic, everyone's favorite. Undersea volcanoes. Happy volcanoes. The kind that don't kill you instantly. Why? Because mafic volcanoes, mafic lava that is thick and viscous, like super, super thick pancake syrup that is so thick you can barely move it. Actually, don't think about pancake syrup. Think about something like peanut butter or like fudge that you can move with your finger, but just like barely, and it goes so slow. Versus like if you were to dump it on something, it would slowly flatten out. Versus felsic lava, which is much scarier because, and right, the reason for that is the iron and magnesium are heavier elements, and so they make the lava or magma viscous. Remember that word, viscous. It's going to be on the test. Or is it? Or just use it in your vocabulary. Felsic. If you need an easy way to remember, manic volcanic, felsic, what, mafic, you're safic-ish. Felsic, you're not safe-ish. Just remember that. Alright, now, felsic magma. Most often in continental volcanoes, right. So we have volcanoes like cinder cones, igneous provinces, kimberlites, composite stratovolcanoes, the kind that form on continents. That is most likely to be felsic, and when a felsic volcano erupts, it is what you most likely think of when you think of volcanic eruption, with the big clouds of smoke just boom through the air. Boom. Now the lava that comes out is not usually red glowing hot. The red glowing hot lava of a children's drawing is more often associated with the slower moving mafic magma that comes out of a shield volcano. So it's kind of weird if you think about it, but the red hot glowing lava is actually safer because it's slow and on the ground. Lava is not going to be red spewing into the air, if that makes sense. What spews into the air is huge amounts of sediment, dust, material, depending on the VEI scale, which is how we measure how much a volcano outputs. Now, the VEI scale goes from 0 to 8, I believe. Yes. And VEI 0, non-explosive eruption level, would be, for example, Mauna Loa, which is our good old shield volcano that we were talking about, right? So if you put that into perspective, if you've ever seen pictures of a Mauna Loa eruption, where like you can see the lava and it's there. That is only a VEI 0. Are you gonna get hurt? No. But just keep that in mind when like it's a volcano and it's there and it's amazing and cool to look at, and it's wonderful that we can so up close safely, but just keep that in mind for as we go. Now a VEI 1, oh right, and that would be called non-explosive. So Mauna Loa does not like explode. VEI 1 is gentle explosion. This is an example of, this would be like the Stromboli, I can't do it. Stromboli, oh, I hate that word for some reason. Stromboli mountain in Italy. And it explodes quite frequently, but only up to, not very high. Then we go all the way VE2, that would be explosive. And as you can see, it is an exponential increase. So as we go from VEI 0 all the way up to, for example, VEI 5, paroxysmal. What even is that word? Paroxysmal. Of course, in the actual class, I will have to go over every single level, because I'm definitely going to throw on some of these terms onto the test. And if I don't go over it in class, they'll be like, Dr. Amethyst, you didn't go over this in class. And I'm like, I did. Mix and match. VEI. Oh, that's actually a brilliant idea. List the VEIs, numbers, and then what their corresponding term is. VEI 6. Colossal. Oh, and bonus points if you can name an eruption. Name. VEI8. Mega colossal. Example, the entirely catastrophic eruption of Mount Toba. 15 miles of erupted material. Volume of miles. 240 miles cubed. Cubed. And it appears that's the limit of my lecture. Well, certainly we'll have to throw in some more examples. But I think I'm good for now. I do love that one test idea though. It's gonna be great. Oh. Oh, hey. Yes, I'm just finishing up actually. Yeah. Yes, I figured out what I'm gonna do for my lecture tomorrow. What about you? Oh, sounds wonderful. Oh, we should totally go, Oh, you cheeky geologist. Still cracks me up even though I know geology. Shut up. Okay, I'll see you later, alright? Bye.